And now I'd like to talk about the art that was there, bro. The art that was at this festival was absolutely like mind-blowing. A lot of it was very like psychedelic, colorful, lots of patterns, lots of like primal type of stuff.
I know that you I know that you I know that
there was a little art gallery that they had set up, like a pop-up art gallery that was in this huge tent. And there was actually like a music stage in the tent as well. And each night I kind of would mosey into the art gallery as I was like, you know, just enjoying my evening or whatever. And I was like standing there looking at the art and I'm just like looking at it, and you just like tilt your head and you stare at it more, and each time you go back and look at it, there's just more like amazing stuff. I'm gonna link a lot of the artists that were there and put photos in, because the paintings were absolutely incredible. All the artists would take their work, like huge canvases, all their paint sets, and they would take it to the lawn, like in front of the stage. And there was this whole row of artists, like I'm talking like 50 yards, maybe 100 yards, 50 yards of like artists lined up painting, and you've got live music blasting at you. You've got a crowd of thousands of people, and it was just like, I was just standing there like watching them paint, and you're watching the energy of the music go into the artists, onto the canvas, and it's just like, and then people are dancing around, and it was like, dude, I'm telling you, when I say that like there was no topping like what all was going on, like there wasn't, like I was just like, bro, this is like ultimate stimulation. Like literally my eyes are seeing absolute beauty, my ears are hearing absolute beauty, I'm surrounded by a ton of wonderful humans, everyone's dancing and moving. Like it was truly, I texted my mom and I said, I was like, the vibes are vibing. Like and we were just, you know, being silly or whatever. But yeah, Tutu is trying to interrupt this video by currently doing this. No, stop. No. Sorry about that. Tutu was being a little bit crazy. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yes, so like that was one of the most amazing parts, was like watching the artists paint all night and like just listening to music. And there were a couple people there that actually live at Art Space. One of them is extremely talented. His name is Logan Walden. And he was there with another guy, I believe named Jared, and they were painting this huge like mural painting that was probably like, I want to say maybe 12 feet by like 10 feet tall, like really big. And it was really cool each day to like go back and see the progress that each artist had made. So anyways, I was inspired, and my friend Anya was like, you should bring your art stuff and like we'll paint if we have time. And I was like, man, I brought my stuff, like I want to paint. So I was like, I'm gonna take my little canvas to the Rust stage where the music is that I like, and there it was just smaller stage, so I'm like, I don't feel as overwhelmed over here. So I took my canvas over there, and for 2 evenings I had worked on a painting, and it actually turned out really cool. I'm looking at it right now. Hang on, let me show you. Yeah, that's it right there. I will I'll show you it later close up. And that was honestly like probably my favorite memory, reflecting on everything, was I remember I'm like I'm working on this painting, and I've got my canvas off to the side of the stage. So it's like, if this is the stage and here's all the crowd, I'm like over here on the side. And like the music's really good, and I'm like painting, and I'm not really looking at the stage. I'm just focused on my work. And then, no, my cat's being annoying. And then at some point, I remember like the music changed, and it was like it was really good, like just exactly the style I like. And I was like, man, like this artist is amazing. And I'm like looking up, and it's a girl. Literally, it had been all guy DJs, and it was a girl DJ, and she was like up there just going at it. And it was super like, it was electronic, but it was almost like reggae vibes. Not reggae, but like, anyways, I like went to figure out like what her name was, and the artist's name was Sister Gaia, and she was incredible, and I freaking loved it. A lot of it was underground artists, so you can probably find them on like SoundCloud and YouTube. But another thing that I remember too that I really liked was like, obviously at night people are partying like really hard. Like they're partying really hard all day, but at nighttime they're going crazy. So in the mornings, it's like when you wake up and you've got to go to the bathroom and you got to go find the porta potties that are not totally trashed. You'll be walking by people that are like really looking like they're trying to recover from whatever they did last night. And like for me, I would always go to bed decently early. Like I was one of the first people to go to bed, like probably in general, to be honest. Just because I get tired, you know, I get tired and I have to go sleep. But like I liked the mornings because they were so cute, because everyone was like just walking around like messed up hair, and like they're just trying to go to the bathroom and they need some water, and it was just so cute. I'm like, oh, I want to take care of everybody like in the mornings, because it just is, you can tell they're tired and they're like, man, I'm feeling it from last night. So that was one thing that was kind of cool, was and that's why I really like this festival, because it felt like, I'm trying to get my camera to focus, it felt like we were just a bunch of people having one huge camping sleepover, and we were all friends, and we're all just sharing the space, and it was just so, I don't know, it was more intimate. It wasn't like a city festival, you know what I mean? Like it was just really nice. And also another cool thing that made my experience, I feel like, more unique, was that since I helped set up that home dome, that was the space where the workshops were held, I was considered staff, so I got this little black bracelet that I wore, and I actually was able to get backstage at the main stage, and they had like food back there. Like they had food that was really good food, and they also had like coffee and hot tea at all times. So you know what I did? Literally, my butt's going back there. It's like literally prime time. Everyone's got their beer in their hand and they're all feeling it, and I'm like, so I went back there. And I'm like, I look at my friend Anya, and I'm like, they have chamomile tea. I'm like, should I make some? And she's like, do you want some tea? And I was like, yeah. So here I am making my chamomile tea, taking it, like, I'm going from backstage back to the crowd of people, and it's like everyone's like bumping into each other, like rocking out and whatnot. And I'm here with like my like chamomile tea, like vibing out. I've got my tea, and I just was like, that was what felt so good about this festival, was I could do, like, everyone was doing whatever they wanted, whatever they needed to do to feel comfortable. Like, some people, they were wearing whatever they wanted to wear. Some people weren't wearing anything at all. That happened. But one of the other cool things was, so there were this group of kids that were hanging out by this little small bridge walkway that was right by our campsite. So our campsite was here, and then the dome was over here, and then the art gallery is over here, all very close. Like, you could throw a ball and hit the dome from our campsite. And there was this bridge that connected kind of like all three. And these kids found this table that someone had sat there that had a sign on it and said, take something, leave something. So like you would take the headband off your head and you would leave it there, and you would take a bracelet that was there, or something weird, like you would leave your cheese puffs there and you would take a Red Bull. Like at the end of the week, there was some random crap on that table, let me tell you. These kids by the bridge, and they would run over to the table and be like, guys, there's more stuff at the table. And then like they would like go and like trade stuff out, and it was so cute watching them. And at the end of the week, what was really funny was they decided they wanted to start a business, and like they wanted to start trying to sell the items that were like on the table. So they'd be like, we got some bracelets, 2 for 1 or 3 for 5. And it was just so cute. And everyone was like being so nice to them too. Like people could have been like, get out of my way, like, you annoying kids. But everyone was just like, oh, cool. Like, what do you have there? Everybody was so nice. So nice. And that's what I really liked too, was everyone was just so friendly, and I felt like I was safe the whole time too. Like because I had separated from our group a decent amount of the time, especially at night. And I even went on a hike at first by myself the first day we got there, because no one was there for the festival yet. We were there setting up 2 days prior. And so I went on a hike because we're literally in nature, and I felt very safe the entire time. I didn't feel like I was in danger at all, or that I needed to be like looking over my shoulder, or that I needed to be like making sure anyone wasn't stealing my stuff. Like I left my art canvas literally at the stage for like hours, and no one was messing with it. And yeah, I just had a wonderful time. But anyways, yeah, it meant a lot to me being at that festival, because I've been someone who has trouble letting go of control and just kind of like not worrying and just being. And one thing that I really wanted to start doing this summer was like just chilling out and letting myself be. And that's really what I did. There was this food truck there that was serving like Indian style vegan food and curry and stuff like that. And it was called Higher Taste. And I remember like I was eating all the food that I packed. So I'm like, I pack my healthy stuff. Like I'm gonna stick with my healthy stuff that I know that I like. But that night I was just running around. I'm like, man, I really need some food. Like I'm super hungry. So I'm like standing up there and I'm like looking at all the stuff they have. And then I'm like, oh, there's this thing called the Feast. So I get it. When I tell you this was some of the best food I've eaten, like maybe the best food I've ever eaten, I'm literally like walking around by myself. It's like 2 in the morning, and I'm like walking through a crowd of people just like eating this giant plate of food. It was so good that I actually went back and got a second plate like an hour later. It was that amazing. It was that amazing. It was so nice. But anyways, yes, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day. I would think I would like to make a video about like food, like what I eat. Because I have a great fun time cooking foods. So yeah, anyways, let me know. Tutu has been here chilling this whole time. Alright, everyone, have a wonderful day. Peace out.